Hello again. On the kick-off match this afternoon, three of the most dramatic games from the third round of the FA Cup. We've sensational happenings at Turf Moor, where Burnley played Stoke. Drama at White Hart Lane, where Manchester United played Spurs. And the unexpected from Halifax, where Manchester City were the visitors.
Had there been a lot of rain this morning, there's no doubt that the game wouldn't have been played. Power. Here's Shinton.
And that's just a sample of some of the great action we have in store for you this afternoon. But we start at Turf Moor with Burnley against Stoke, two sides for whom the third round provides a welcome relief from all the day-to-day pressures of life at the bottom of the second and first divisions respectively, as the Stoke captain Dennis Smith explains.
Obviously we've been having a bit of a tough time in the first division, now we've gone up. So this is a relaxation to a certain extent, it'll take you away from the pressures of the league. We want a good cup run obviously to take some of the tension away from the club at the moment, which we've got, and a good cup run does the world of good. The lads are looking forward to this afternoon very much.
And what thoughts are going through the mind of Burnley skipper Martin Dobson?
Well, we've done very well over recent weeks to get out of the trouble that we found ourselves in up to about 4 or 5 games ago. We're still not out of the wood by a long way, but it's a game this afternoon where it's a one-off job. We're playing against a first division club, so the pressure is definitely on them. We're looking forward to it, and I'm sure the fans are as well. Let's hope it's an entertaining game.
FA Cup ties, also a special occasion, of course, for referees. The man in charge here today, Kevin McNally.
Well, I think for an FA Cup game, I think it brings the best out of all teams, and they have a lot to fight for because it is the Premier Cup of the country, and I think we'll see a sparkling game of football, I hope anyhow, because the ground has certainly improved since I last saw it over the last couple of days, and I'm hoping for an excellent game of football. I shall do my most anyhow to help it.
And a check on the Burnley side shows an unfamiliar lineup at the back. Ian Brennan is injured, so Billy Rodaway switches to left back, and Paul Dixon comes into the middle. In midfield, there's the experienced guiding hand of Martin Dobson, who was a scorer for Burnley in this round 10 years ago. Up front, Billy Hamilton and Phil Kavanagh continue the partnership that has brought them 4 goals in the last 3 games. Alan Durbin, the Stoke manager, brought virtually his whole first-team squad, but didn't name this line-up until he'd had a good look at the pitch and given Dennis Smith a fitness test. Like Burnley, Stoke will play 4 in midfield. All of these are goal scorers this season. And up front, the height and heading ability of Brendan O'Callaghan is paired with the pace and flair of Garth Crooks. This is young Phil Kavanagh, a lad from South Shields, making only his 6th appearance in the first team, but someone who's caught the imagination of the Burnley fans. So Burnley will kick off, attacking the goal to our left. No clash of colours, both team in their normal first strip. Burnley in claret and blue, and Stoke in the famous red and white stripes. Final check for Mr. McNally with his linesman, and away we go. Pitch obviously going to be heavy, already cutting up just from the kick-in the first 5 minutes before 3 o'clock. It's a dangerous pass back, and Fox didn't recover quickly enough to prevent the corner. 20 seconds gone, and Burnley have... No, it wasn't a corner, it was a free kick given for the challenge on the goalkeeper. Irvine, chased by O'Callaghan and put out for a corner, so we have got a corner in the first minute of the game, and it goes to Stoke. Garth Crooks has just walked across the picture there, Alan Stevenson hopping around by the far post. O'Callaghan's flick, and the shot put wide by Heath. Heath had time to see the goal in his sights there, but he had quite a lot of players to find a way around. Header across from O'Callaghan, and then pulled wide by Heath. Irvine's header, then O'Callaghan's, not a very good one. Burke, perfectly fair shoulder charge by Heath, and a good tackle by Dobson. Irvine, Evans, looked like a push on Crooks, and Crooks again looks to the referee, gets no sympathy. Now Crooks. Richardson. A lot of men forward for Stoke. Richardson can't make up his mind which of them to use. This is Randall. Oh, poor Randall isn't having a very good afternoon. That's the second time he's let one run away from him out of play. Hamilton, and a trip by Smith, that will get him a yellow card. There's been a bit of a feeling of the need for a caution for somebody in the air for the last 5 minutes or so, and Dennis Smith committed then an eminently cautionable trip. And again a free kick for Burnley, with Dobson this time to hit the shot, but again it's blocked. Scott. Rodaway's header. Heath. Those back passes are so dangerous on this kind of surface around the edge of the penalty area. Kavanagh turned and crossed very well, but Smith it away for Stoke. Brooks beaten by Dobson's challenge. Going back to have a second go. Burke. Doyle. Callahan. And the pass is not accurate. And that lets in Young. Hamilton, whoops. Dobson. Rodney took it down well on his chest. And well robbed by Dodd. Randall back challenging Hamilton, and the tackle completed by Heath. Young with the throw. Hamilton. Linesman flagging for a foul. Referee played what looked to be the advantage, but Stoke cleared. Overson with a missed kick. Irvine robbed. Young. Doyle covering Smith. Evans. Crooks. Challenge from behind by Dixon. Crooks retains possession. And a challenge from behind by Burke. But play goes on, and Kavanagh has the ball for Burnley. Cross was played early and nobody really arrived. And Stoke can be grateful for that, because there was a bit of a blunder on the edge of the box. But Kavanagh has this great ability to turn and cross all in the same movement, and he got the ball over, but the other men hadn't arrived. Crooks with Dixon the defender. Heath. That could have been punished. Dennis Smith's header under pressure, and the foul is given against him. Dennis Smith already booked, but feeling there that he was more sinned against. Dobson up towards Hamilton's head, and he's made it, and Irvine waited for the ball to drop, whereas Smith was in hunting. Heath doesn't get it away. Kavanagh got his body in the way. He really is a little terrier, Phil Kavanagh. Very impressive first half hour he's had. Callahan, fouled by Rodaway, a push in the back. Evans' free kick up towards O'Callaghan, down to Crooks. Again the attempted pass back by Overson, it hit Dixon. And that'll be Dodds. And now, and it stops in the mud. Now that is exactly the danger of the back pass in conditions like this. That ball suddenly came to a dramatic standstill. That's the treacherous area just on the edge of the Stoke penalty area. Young beaten by Dennis Smith, Richardson, Irvine, O'Callaghan, Randall, Irvine, Kavanagh, full of confidence. A lot of skill to justify it. Dobson finding Rodaway well. Hamilton beaten in the air by Dodd. Dobson sliding into the challenge, but Irvine saw him coming. Richardson on for Heath. In the middle, Crooks on a run. O'Callaghan! I think Stevenson must have got a hand to that. No, I think not. I think the indication is a goal kick, although the Stoke players are going out for a corner. Glorious bit of work. O'Callaghan is already on the run here as Heath plays it in, meets it firmly, and I think it hits Stevenson on the back. Evans, an attempted back pass that poses problems for Fox. He was equal to them, but he had to come a yard outside his penalty area to clear into touch. Rodaway, Dodd, Irvine and Heath. Callahan, Randall forced to check, tried to play it on for Doyle, and Overson intercepted. Randall trying something else now. Evans, Irvine and Heath again. Evans. Once more, this time looking for O'Callaghan's head and finding it. He won a lot in the air, Brendan O'Callaghan. Dobson with Kavanagh to his left here, number 7. Cross helped in towards Burke, and Doyle angry with Fox. In fact, I think Doyle got that away rather more clearly wide of goal than it may have looked. Yes, he got it well clear. He wasn't best pleased with Fox. Kavanagh's corner. It's gone through to Overson. And Overson, who has yet to score his first senior goal for Burnley, fires well out. Crooks header and O'Callaghan bursting onto it. The shot was a foot wide. O'Callaghan doesn't look the fastest man over the ground, but he burst on well there and came about as close to a goal as we've seen at that end. He's come through onto Crooks' header, and Stevenson was struggling a bit. Foul on foul on Hamilton by Dodd rather. Dobson to take the free kick. You need to hurry it along. Rodaway. Dennis Smith. Corner is given. Dennis Smith once again disbelieving. Burke is the Burnley player on the goal line. Richardson it was who picked the ball out for a Burnley throw. Scott throwing it long. And the half-time whistle goes with the score sheet blank, but Burnley, with Martin Dobson pulling the strings from midfield, have looked sharp and eager, and you wouldn't think that there was a whole division between these two teams. So the score sheet blank, but maybe some to come in the second half. Join us again in a few moments. Welcome back to Turf Moor, where the score sheet is blank at half-time, and really only Brendan O'Callaghan, the Stoke number 9, has reason to feel that he had a worthwhile chance that didn't come to anything. Stoke have never won the FA Cup. Burnley won it in 1914. Kavanagh there with thoughts of another step towards Wembley, thwarted by Fox. No offside, but it's going to be Fox's ball. A couple of huge balloons drifting about the pitch. The fans have been throwing them on and off throughout the game. Dennis Smith. Dobson. Challenged by Irvine. Heath losing up to Young and swinging a rather wild leg that Young didn't like, and Mr. McNally is reaching for his yellow card again, and that's the second booking of the match. Adrian Heath joining Dennis Smith in the referee's book. What a way to take the free kick. Hamilton's header. And Doyle calls out Fox, and only just in time. Malcolm Smith was the forward chasing, hoping to pick something up from nothing. Brooks. Dobson can't get out of this tight situation here, and that looked very like a foul by Burke on Richardson. I'm sure Richardson thought it was. Now Heath. Crooks. Randall is the man over, and his control wasn't very good. He went wider than he needed to, but he may still find Heath. Or O'Callaghan, and blocked by his body by Stevenson, who then plunges on it, and O'Callaghan loses out again. The cross played by Randall. Heath is on the end of it, And the knockdown comes to O'Callaghan, blocked by Stevenson with his body, and then he can get onto it before it goes over the line. Irvine getting it out of the sticky patch, down to the firmer ground on the flanks for Heath. And he's gone past Rodaway well. This is dangerous. But cut out by Dixon when Crooks was waiting. Kavanagh, not really supported, brought down, and the referee is now calling Dennis Smith over to him. And what view has he taken of that foul? A reasonably tolerant one, and just as well for Dennis Smith, who already has had a caution in the game. Kavanagh, meanwhile, still making sure that he's got both legs. Smith also hobbling as he goes back into position. Well, that left ankle was strapped up before the game. Stoke immediately start to warm up their substitute, Paul Johnson. So it's still goalless midway through this second half, and very much anyone's game. Kavanagh. Rodaway. And the referee telling Smith that if he wants treatment he's got to go off the field to get it, but the sub Paul Johnson hasn't yet stripped off. He's taking his top off now. Paul Johnson relatively inexperienced, but he's been holding down a fullback spot in recent weeks, and he's going to take over from Dennis Smith. Is saying that he wants to stay on, and Johnson has put his traction, and he is now sent on. Well, Mr. McNally showed him the red card. The whole Stoke team are coming to him. He waves them away. Alan Durbin has gone down onto the touchline, furious. There's Durbin in the sheepskin coat, and Smith is utterly perplexed. And play is restarted. And a free kick given for a foul, only just outside the Stoke penalty area. And the only guess that I can make to account for that sending off, which clearly has angered and perplexed Alan Durbin, is that Smith was cautioned a second time for ungentlemanly conduct in maybe saying that he wanted treatment and then saying that he didn't want treatment, and that would have earned him a second caution and therefore a sending off. So it's 10 men of Stoke. Dobson's free kick. Kavanagh playing it in. Burke turns on it, and it was got away by Heath when anybody might have had it. Ball was ricocheting around in the area after Burke had had a bash at it. Rodaway. Hamilton turning it. Burke shot, hits Doyle, and it's a corner. This is the 15th corner that Burnley have had against 6 by Stoke. Dobson, a very good one by Irvine. Heath has played it up to Randall, who is offside. Alan Durbin pondering on, having seen Dennis Smith sent off for the second time this season. He was off against Aston Villa in November. Dobson. Scott. Hamilton. Penalty is given. Evans gets a booking for his protest, and once again Kevin McNally becomes the central figure of a controversial game. The tackle there, played the ball but apparently got the man as well, and that was good enough for Mr. McNally to point to the spot. Doyle has spoken to Mr. McNally and now goes back to a position on the edge of the penalty area, and Dobson is waiting to take the penalty and succeeds. Martin Dobson, his 7th goal of the season. Dobson then the scorer, and Stoke kick off, a goal down, a man down, and in real trouble. Second division leading first division, and as Hamilton comes chasing through, Fox is out to collect. Randall robbed, and the ball has gone loose, but the whistle has gone, and Heath's chase is in vain. They're being called back, in fact, for a Stoke free kick. Free kick is taken, but with a moving ball or from the wrong place. They're going to have to come back anyway. Doyle. Heath. And just picked up there on the half volley by Stevenson. Stevenson in action once again, as this ball is crossed in. Young, and onside now Hamilton. Tried, sensed the defender coming after him, but in the end it wasn't too difficult for Fox. Randall it was who had got back to harass Hamilton into an early effort. And now Hamilton again. 2 against 2, and Hamilton this time determined to go it alone, and this time puts the shot wide. Shakes his head, keeps battling away through the mud. Here he's been on a long run. Doyle has gone with him all the way, sets himself for the shot, but puts it wide. Foul by Dobson this time. Dodd. Irvine. Doyle there supporting. Crooks, can he smuggle a way through? Not past Scott. Header by Dodd. Buck, wide to Rodaway. Young offside. Fox now angrily out of his penalty area. Two minutes to go, and another red card. Evans is sent off by Mr. McNally. The second of the game. Alan Durbin down on the touchline once more, hands on hips. There's Evans leaving the field, and Durbin beyond words, I suspect. Evans hasn't yet left the pitch. Durbin angrily motioning him to hurry up and get off. Referee, I think, has taken a signal that time is up from his linesman, but he'll almost certainly add something on. And it looks as though Stoke are on their way out. It'll be the first time that Burnley have ever beaten them in the FA Cup. Stevenson keeping them in there. Alan Durbin making his way round towards the dressing rooms. He's seen enough. Kavanagh. Richardson. Crooks. Still Crooks. Randall's cross. And Crooks could score here. Missed his kick. He really was in with a clear chance there inside the 6-yard area and should have done better. Over it comes. O'Callaghan nods it back. Hodded on again, and he completely misses his kick. Garth Crooks. And there's the whistle. Burnley have beaten Stoke, but there's no doubt whose name will make the headlines from this game in the morning, and that is the Southborough referee, Kevin McNally, who has sent off two of the Stoke defenders, Dennis Smith and Ray Evans. So the game ends in a storm of booing and controversy, with Burnley the winners by Martin Dobson's penalty goal.
So a controversial finish, and one which clearly angered the Stoke City manager Alan Durbin, who spoke to Gerald Sinstadt after the match.
I just feel sorry for the players. I feel sorry for our supporters, and a lot of fears perhaps that I had before the game started were seen to have happened.
Fears why?
Because when I saw what the official was for this game, my heart sagged. If you want the truth, or do you want me to go
on, you
in
tell
front
me
of an
what
FA
you
Commission?
you tell
But
me
that
what
is
you
the
think.
truth. When I found out who was to referee this match, I started with my team talk today by saying, whatever you do, don't say a word to the referee.
Have you had bad experiences with him before?
Have I? Personally, no.
But the team?
Don't think so. No, our team don't usually get many bad experiences with anybody. There hasn't been a malicious foul, or I would have thought a bad tackle in the match at all today.
But why then did you expect that things might be difficult?
Through watching matches, going out at night, watching matches, past experience, and I just was frightened, of this particular official.
Well, let's look at one or two of the controversial incidents in the game. The penalty incident, we
Yeah.
can show you again.
One or two. One or two,
well, we'll
Joel.
talk about one or two, but let's have a look at the penalty incident in slow motion. Tell us what you think here.
The lad dummied a few minutes before there and got the centre forward away on a good run. But I thought Ray Evans made up ground fairly well, and Ray definitely got his toe to the ball, and got it back to the keeper quite safely.
Yeah. Let's have a look again. This is the crucial moment. Did you think there was physical contact there, or was that
Well, I
clean
think
with
there
the
was
ball?
physical contact, but both players had physical contact. I thought it was a 50-50 ball, which could have squirted anywhere, and it squirted back in the goalkeeper's hand.
And in your view, then, not a penalty?
It was a penalty, yeah, it was, and we lost 1-0.
What about the sendings off?
Well, we can't understand it. There's lads sitting in that dressing room now with heads in their hands. They have got no idea, why they got sent off.
Dennis Smith, it seemed to me, was about to come off, and then you asked him to go back on again?
Dennis wasn't 100% fit when the game started. He had a test about 2:15, and he had a bad ankle. Now, midway through the second half, I noticed him starting to limp, and as I was getting down into the box, the sub was coming out to warm up. And next time I looked on, Dennis was walking off, and I asked our coach to ask Dennis to give us another couple of minutes until the sub was warm, which I thought was quite reasonable. There was no linesman waiting to check anybody's studs or anything like that, so I thought that was a reasonable suggestion. And next minute there's a red card in the air, and Dennis Smith's ankle is like a balloon at the moment.
Should you have had the sub warming up sooner?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Smithy can play on a lot of courage, but when he says, yeah, well, thanks very much, I've had enough, then I know that he has had enough, because he doesn't walk off.
And what about Ray Evans sending off?
Well, from as far as we can gather, that would be for heavy sarcasm. We got an offside award, I think, 2 minutes from the end, and his exact words were, "Oh, thank you very much, ref," from what I gather, for which he was shown the red card.
Alan, thank you for coming and talking to us.
It is. Now, the only thing is, if through this interview that I find myself unemployed, would you see to your lot down in London to see if they can get me a job? Thank you very much.
Well, an understandable reaction, I suppose, from the Stoke manager, Alan Durbin. Well, now let's hear from one of the men sent off, the Stoke City captain, Dennis Smith.
Dennis, can you tell me what happened in your sending off?
Well, no, I can't really. I'm not quite sure myself. I had an ankle injury, which I did yesterday in training. I had a bit of a fitness test before, and it was going reasonably well, but I was struggling with it most of the game. And then just before the sending off, I made a tackle and it went badly. So I said to the referee, OK, yeah, I want to go off, sort of thing. And I came over to the touchline. I was on my way over to the touchline, and the trainer said, "Wally Gould, give us a couple of minutes while I get the lad warmed up." I said, OK, and I turned round, and he showed me the red card, obviously for time waste. I'm not quite sure.
You'd already been booked once before in the first half.
Yes, that from my point of view, I never touched the lad. He knows I didn't touch the lad. Billy Hamilton said, "Well, I jumped," which is quite true. I went for make the tackle. I saw he beat me. I'd stepped back, and the lad jumped, and he booked me for that, which is, I think, it's not my season this season somehow.
Well, the referee, Kevin McNally, said that he wasn't allowed to talk about controversial decisions on television, but he did tell me, however, that he'd sent off Dennis Smith for persistent and gentlemanly conduct and Ray Evans for a remark which Mr McNally said was unrepeatable. Well, now let's hear the Burnley viewpoint on the penalty. The player who was brought down, Billy Hamilton, Joe Sinstad asked him if he thought it was a foul.
I'm not so sure if it was tripped or not, but I think it was impeded as it went into the box.
Let's have a look at it again in slow motion, and you can perhaps tell us how you felt it, now you see it.
Well, I was running through here, and you can see the defender coming to make a tackle. But just before he makes contact with the ball, he makes contact with me, just there.
Yeah.
And down I go. So I think it was a penalty.
In your book, a fair decision?
Yes, in my book, yeah, fair decision.
Well, for the second successive year, the Cup has thrown together Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United. Indeed, the regularity which brings these two sides together is really quite remarkable. Yesterday's meeting being the 7th in a little over 12 months. Well, the draw last year paired Manchester United at White Hart Lane, and they eventually went through as a result of a replay. And this year, United again came out of the hat second. So it's to White Hart Lane we go. London weekend cameras provide the pictures. Brian Moore is the commentator, and United are in the dark shirts.
Knocked out of the way there by... Oh, a tremendous save by Gary Bailey from Chris Jones. After McQueen had blocked that shot, which looked as though it might have been dangerous, and it looked as though United had got over that little crisis. A good shot taken quickly by Jones, and what a save. And Yorath playing it in now again for Ardiles. Little dummy there on McElroy. Now for Jones. Oh. Well, he's firing him in. That time Bailey was leaping across his goal, but he didn't get a touch to it and didn't have to. Just a fraction too high. Copley busying himself down there, and Macari as well, but it's a goal kick. Oh, a corner. Just flicked off a Tottenham defender. Queen up again. McElroy. Jordan, a big threat as well. Chris Jones back to watch Gordon McQueen. Thomas, who floats a very good left-footed corner in. Macari right in there, but the referee not happy about something, and I suspect there's a bit of bumping and boring going on between Alexic and McQueen. Is still there. Thomas again with a corner, curled in there. Chris Jones getting up but didn't quite get a touch to it. Wilkins trying to get a touch to it. He didn't also. Macari there, and it's still not in. And it was very nearly Wilkins who got the final touch. And now here's Thomas onside, but a goal kick. Well, what an amazing scrimmage that was a moment ago in that Tottenham 6-yard area. Macari had a shot and Alexic beat it down superbly. And a free kick for Tottenham. And it's going to be Steve Perryman with it. Hit towards Villa. Now towards Gibson, who popped up there with a header. Chris Jones there. Gibson trying to get in once more. Ardiles with a chance! Wasn't a powerful shot from the little Argentine, but it left Bailey unsighted as the ball went into the back of the net. Houston with the throw for Manchester United. Yoreth with the header away. Bucket now for United. United's throw. Got it on there towards McQueen by Jordan. Comes out for Copley, blasting that well. Houghton got in the way of it though. Wilkins now trying to go all the way. No, a little pass here for Jimmy Nicholl. Crossed in once more, a deep one towards McQueen, who was pushed. And a penalty, I think, has been given, yes. The push on Gordon McQueen has planted the ball on the penalty spot. There's the push, and it looked a good one. It looked a good penalty. And now it's a question as to whether McElroy, well, I think the yellow card's coming out first for too many Spurs protests, and it might be Ardiles, the hero of a moment ago. Indeed it is Ardiles who gets the yellow card for protesting too vehemently about that penalty. How many people would care to be in Sammy McElroy's shoes at this moment, or indeed in the shoes or boots of Emilia Alexic. So here we go then. Oh, a further delay, the ball not properly on the spot. Winding up the temperature a little bit more. McElroy now. 1-1. And now it's with Gibson. But running into McQueen brought him no profit. Villa with the shot just over. Houston with the header. Yoreth. Davis brought down by Jordan. The free kick already quickly taken by Hoddle, and now Velia hitting it in there. Koppel just nicking in there to get it away for Manchester United. Ardiles. Oh, he did well to beat Houston there. And Tielemans somehow had it saved at very point-blank range by Gary Bailey. In fact, the first go at a shot was Gibson's, and then it came to Perryman, and Bailey was right on him.
And the replay between Manchester United and Spurs will be at Old Trafford on Wednesday night. Well, now it's time for our competition snapshot with the results from 2 weeks ago and a new mystery player for you to identify with the aid of his family photograph album. So let's hear the details from Gerald Sinstad.
The clue we gave you a fortnight ago to go with these pictures wasn't meant to be a red herring. It should have led you to a Manchester United red from the fishing port of Aberdeen. Martin Buchan, the club's captain. And that was exactly the conclusion reached by Mark Openshaw of Lytham, Stuart Coombs from Ashton-under-Lyne, Stephen Eagleton of Helmshaw, Cindy Greenough, who wrote from Farnworth, and Stuart Wally of Padiham. They all received kick-off T-shirts, and there are 5 more to be won if you can recognise this young man who grew up with a passion for football and has gone on to fulfil all his boyhood dreams. But his cap size is still the same as when he first wore it in 1976. Entries on postcards, please, including your T-shirt size, to Snapshot, Kick-Off Match, Granada Television, Manchester 3. Snapshot, Kick-Off Match, Granada Television, Manchester 3.
Well, now we move on to a tie with all the ingredients of an FA Cup classic. Halifax of the 4th Division against Manchester City of the 1st, who under the leadership of Malcolm Allison have gained a reputation of being totally unpredictable. And adding some fuel to the pre-match optimism at the Shea, memories of Manchester City's last FA Cup tie when they lost at Shrewsbury, who were then in the 3rd Division. So Halifax against City, covered by Yorkshire Television. Martin Tyler's the commentator, and Halifax are in white.
There's a lot of water still on the pitch, but the game is on. Halifax attacking the goal to our left in a real classical cup confrontation. 4th Division against 1st Division, the poor of the Football League against the rich. City in their change strip of red and black stripes. And here's one of the 3 teenagers in the back 4, Nicky Reid. Dave Evans with the header. This is Mick Kennedy, an 18-year-old for Halifax in midfield, finding Mountford. Stafford trying to judge it, and turned away by Ray Ransom. Mick Kennedy is the long throw specialist, and Halifax look to get men in at the near post. Harris is one. Mountford, Hendry! Well, Paul Hendry, with just a minute gone, within a whisker of giving us a sensational start. It came from the long throw from Kennedy, which was won by Harris, who was loosely marked. Mountford was competing, Hendry with a volley that was wide. Bill John. Across to cut out the danger of Shinton. Shinton and Robinson, the 2 men up front for Manchester City. Halifax playing with 3 up. Firth is one who got the touch there. And 2 of the Halifax front 3 are orthodox wingers, Firth and Stafford. Hutt. Down from Daly. Here's Tony Henry. Now Phil John. Daly darting into the box. Robinson is there as well. And Bennett trying to set up Robinson. Henry. Still not clear. Bennett. Robinson. And hacked away, I think, by Kennedy, who's gone down. With a skirmish there, it really is an indication of what's to come in this cup tie. The mud making it difficult for everybody, causing errors. Halifax unable to get it away until finally after Bennett had made a run trying to get to the byline. Kennedy put it out. Caton's header. And Reed beating Mountford. Here's Hendry. Smith. Stafford playing it in quickly. Almost slithered across to Mountford. Stafford. Firth is on the far post. Power may well have been trying to turn it behind for the corner. It went in Corrigan's direction, but he couldn't stop it going out. Stafford wasting no time in putting the ball into the danger area. And, I think a bit lucky. It was a corner anyway. Mountford is 9 for Halifax. Just in front of him, 5 is Harris. And it's dipping all the way, and it's hit the post. Kennedy's corner. And it went all the way across Corrigan and came out off the post. You can see rain falling, which will only make conditions worse. Had there been a lot of rain this morning, there's no doubt that the game wouldn't have been played. Power. Here's Shinton. Well, George Kirby has been so quick to praise John Kilner's performances this season. And the young goalkeeper at his most alert as Shinton flicked on Power's cross, and fine handling of the greasy ball. Harris having a look to see if the back pass was on, and in the end finding the pitch beating him, and that was a ball by Smith against Robinson. Two players who know each other. In fact, Nick Robinson really took John Smith's place at Preston, and he got a regular berth in the side. Ranson. City on the edge of the box. Here's Daly. Bennett. Caton going on. Certainly nothing defensive about City today. And here's Robinson. Beaten away by Kilner. Bennett driving it back. Away by Harris. And that was agony for the Halifax dugout. And Kennedy, who was born in Manchester, sees himself as a Manchester United fan, so there's an extra incentive to try and put one over on City. And the volley was from Evans, from Firth rather. Right in there, and Firth and Evans both swinging at it, and Corrigan having to make the save. Push by Stafford. There's another Mancunian. Actually was on schoolboy forms for a while with Manchester City. Corrigan taking the risk of the back pass. Corrigan, who was on his way out to collect the ball, and there wasn't a great deal of room between defender and goalkeeper, no margin for error. So Halifax again congregate on the near post. Kennedy looking for Harris. Hendry with a second chance. Well, that is a well-rehearsed ploy, looking for Harris at the near post. He caused the confusion, and Hendry had two bites at it. The first one was blocked away by Robinson, and the second one, under pressure, went wide. Makes them a difficult side to beat. But in the last quarter of an hour here at the Shea, they've really got to be looking for a winning goal. And perhaps Henry has found it. Well, it came right on cue from Paul Henry. And the Shea erupts in delight. Stafford drilled it in. Smith laid it off. And Henry, keeping his balance, the smallest player on the field, tucked it into the corner. Here's Henry. Tapped out by Halifax. Payton struck Robinson. And Daly. Well, it was so close for Manchester City, Malcolm Allison and Steve Daly. Kilner was beaten. One from Mountford, Firth giving chase. We've had a minute of injury time. Shinton. City certainly not giving up without a fight. The referee's looked at the watch. George Kirby out of the dugout. He knows that there's precious few seconds left. And he knows that it's over. Halifax come up with an upset at the Shea. Manchester City go off dejected. Paul Henry is the cup hero for Halifax Town. There he goes, hair is ruffled. His goal, quarter of an hour from the end, puts First Division Manchester City out of the cup.
Well, I'm sure you'll agree it's been a fascinating and controversial programme today. We say goodbye with the goal that really typifies the third round of the FA Cup. The scorer, Paul Henry of Halifax Town.
Makes them a difficult side to beat. But in the last quarter of an hour here at the Shea, they've really got to be looking for a winning goal. And perhaps Henry has found it.